The following may include subject matters of war, violence, loss, and adult themes which may not be appropriate for all audiences. Viewer discretion advised. Previously on Darkeport. Episode 44, Bone and Starlight, Part 2. Weisa is in deep contemplation of her past, present, and future. Her alcove at her mentor's bakery, the eponymous Publius Pastries, hardly seems to belong to her anymore. Her half-brother, Mohi, comes to visit, and in the course of their conversation, he relates that he is attempting to forge a new ethical path that does not currently exist in the world of muscle and blood. This system centers compassion and serenity as core values while still acknowledging the need for great strength in order to thrive in this violent world. Marcus and his beloved wife Alba have a gut-wrenching conversation in which he reveals that he no longer feels the Lord of Light, Quaelathon, but the Goddess of Truth, Tawea. Feeling a profound sense of betrayal, Alba tells her lifelong love, "You're breaking me heart," and points out that they may not even be married anymore as they were joined under Quaelathon's sight. Alba eventually flees from their tent. Without anywhere else to go, Marcus walks to the place that always brings him comfort, the pigpens. While he contemplates the future, a cloaked figure shuffles up to him. Marcus soon agrees to accompany this person to Aurelius's field to watch the drawn come. Deverin makes some new Kithki friends and is invited to their home for Witch's Snack, a late meal. He and Mohi eventually meet and play a final game of Succession, which his older half-brother taught him. During the game, Mohi's uncanny senses alert him to a passing presence which he goes to investigate. This turns out to be the old woman that Marcus is accompanying to the field, and the two brothers join up with them. The four of them arrive at Aurelius's field. They learn the elder's name is Antonia, and that she has been a true cleric of the same goddess as Marcus for over 2 centuries. She has served for this entire time as mistress of 10 Troll Den, a special place of refuge for extraordinary children, whom the Goddess of Truth directed to save from certain death. She has raised many generations of geniuses and chosen, including Mohi, for a time when he was very young, but now her own time has come. In Marcus, Deverin, and Mohi's company, she faces the dawn and seems to disappear beneath her robes as the first rays of the newly born day come to embrace her. Weisa goes to reconnect with Figulus Naeus' hut, having not set foot in it since the Fellowship's return from the Isle of Tenderheart. Grip winds up accompanying her, and himself experiences the place his legendary grandsire went to retire. Weisa asks Grip, "How old do you feel?" A question which begins what is likely to be an ongoing conversation between the pair about their inner experiences. During this, the duo hear a singing/chanting coming closer to the hut. The trio of beloved Tricely, Justikar, Mirza, and another figure approach. Grip immediately sets his sights on Tricely, staring relentlessly. Some tensions begin to rise between the two groups, which Tricely seeks to resolve with a bit of clarity on Grip's part. Ritual combat between the impetuous dragon kind and the third member of Tricely's group, Mithra, begins.
Faraway friends, you have once more found yourself at Darkeport. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and we hope to go into some pretty deep waters. It is just the wonderful, effervescent Donnie and myself.
Everyone else got stuck in an elevator.
Bad,
but
Donnie was not able to join us last time.
Take the stairs.
He was out of state on work, and so there is quite a bit to cover. Shout out to Constructed Chaos, our sister stream, Alex, Morgan, and the rest of the Chaos crew. Thank you so much. Morgan just let me know that they are booked for Gen Con, and that is real exciting, so we're super looking forward to that. We have, as our sponsors, we have an Embarrassment of Riches. We have Eldritch Foundry. For all of your custom mini needs, that is getting worked overtime right now on both this campaign and the Curse of Strahd campaign.
And they do have the new color injection.
And now, yes, and that is a continuing thing. We have I'm so used to looking over there.
Yeah.
But, we have Briarwick's, our own Briarwick. Justice over here is the scent.
Smells like freedom.
Smells like freedom.
I'm happy I get to sit in front of it for once.
And indeed, yeah, actually, it's a rare enough thing. And their fabulous CEO, Kate Glass. Thank you so much for partnering with us.
That was Kate Wax, but Kate Glass makes just as much
Glass.
sense. Yeah.
Wax would be scary if it was living. We have, of course, the Shop of Many Things.
If you haven't heard of it, be sure to check out the video.
There's another character I like.
Which Donnie has already played another character for.
Don't wait.
Go check that out. There's lots of cool stuff there. And there should be under the play screen, there should be a selection of different items that you can just click on now instead of having to dig through copious amounts of description spam. So thank you for that.
Forget the hashtags. Get right into it.
And I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but there we are.
We'll be coming back up.
We'll get to it at the intermission. And it looks like Grim. Thank you for the 5 gifties. We appreciate that so much. I'm glad you're here tonight.
Thank you.
So we have a candle.
Wait. The Candle of Tales. I had to make up for everybody.
You had to make up for everybody?
Like I do every week. Should I start off?
You got it.
All right. 8 days hence, the Ides of Fina, 1477, 4776. I know that if we are to fail, if Jerdementrum fails, this will be burned along with our city. But I also know that one must read beforehand, before it is committed to ash, for our history would be as so hell. One is enough, one is a spark. Our days are now in Noctra. Yesterday I was a boy, and now that I am. The courage of our blood is flowing through Livia, which leaves me with the absolute. Death cannot be tamed. Their antiquitied fables and their fairy toys are still forcing will. I think of Cassius. I think of his oath. He chose in life and in death. He served from honor and love. Is that bondage? Is that servitude? I wish I could have had another conversation with him. I know I will in the next life. His eyes, tombs of duty with time, and his soul was still intact. He has my blood and my name's eternal gratitude. But I think of what would he say for those that are not brought to fight for, those that were not sworn to fight. I think he would agree. I am Lord. My name is Titus Metellus Glabro Vorn. I love my people. All I've ever done, though they may not bear witness to, has been for them. We are their spark. We are the challenge. We show that there is another way. In any war, I know that I would win. I am a champion of combat and born and bred for contest. My will to then win, but with the love of those that I serve, would come with loss. I cannot ask them to die for my vanity. I was born to believe I know that now. I know that I am worthy, and that we are worthy. Freedom is the only righteous indignation that justifies breath. So it will be won or lost within our breath. We know that we are just, and so does our existence. And so that, and thine is our and my oath. That's the gun I got.
Thank you.
Sorry. Could be better. Dang it.
Nope.
All right.
How does it feel to be in this room again? The aunties have taken Jerem for the night. You know your sister is recovering as best she can. And here you are in this place that has seen you go from infant to boy to something in between, and now a young man, and finally the champion of Tuea.
Yeah. I think as he's sitting there, when Jerem's in the room, everything always feels so small. But when it's him alone and he looks across and he sees like the sigils and he sees the history and he sees everything within that, including Concord, it's that he feels small until he looks out the window and realizes that it's so much more than just him, that he kind of rises within that occasion. Like his history doesn't give him as much strength as the people outside do. So it's kind of a lot of introspection of looking down and around at things, but when he does look out, he kind of reinstills his faith within himself and feels larger. Come in.
The athletic, lissom form of Ender Starstep lets herself into your chambers. Without much comment, she closes the door behind her, bows to you. My lady will be here soon, Domini. I wondered if perhaps you needed any assistance cleaning yourself or dressing before she came. I have oil and a razor if you need it.
No, I appreciate it. This is something I always must do myself.
Understood.
Perhaps you could see to my lady sister.
Oh, Domini, I already did.
I knew you would.
Would you mind if I waited here with you?
Please,
Or-
have a seat.
She looks around the room, goes and hops up in the windowsill easily, looks out over the Kogi. This is a magnificent view.
Always gives me hope.
You have changed, Titus Metellus, since I last heard word from your lips and stood in the flow of your life.
Fell as a boy. Now so much has changed.
Aye, that. And yet it goes even deeper, no?
To my very bones. I feel the same for our mistress.
Her change has been true, but that I understand. She noted to me that there was an element of the uncanny about you now.
I think it's though my responsibility to those things that has changed me.
Would it offend you if a dirt person born in a nameless village from the Emirates commented on thy glorious line?
No one who ever speaks true could ever offend me now. No matter where they come from. For they're here now.
I have heard such words before, and this is the first time I actually believe them. For what it matters, for what it's worth, you are a credit to your line and what you have accomplished in such a short time.
They credit me, though I would not be able to do it without any one of them. think that might be the difference between certain lines and ours. We need each other. And everyone else, from most of my experience, tends to use one another.
Collaboration, vice exploitation. Said differently, a wise woman once told me to watch the difference. Perhaps that is what I sense in thee.
Perspective rather than perseverance, I guess.
On her far keener ears, she gets up. And Lucretia Tarquinian Demisha Vale comes in. She formally bows to you. You acknowledge one another. And then she just kind of stands there. And for the first time that you've known her, looks indecisive, maybe even a little lost. She stands.
Her hands military kind of behind her back, or are they in front? Or
that would give her too much direction. They're just kind of listless, like her feet carried her to the one place in the keep that she knew she wanted to be, and that was the end of her plan.
I'll walk up and then slowly with my pinky kind of grab the index finger to then pull up to her chest, to then pull her into me, and then lift her head from that bow. Back.
Am I?
I can feel the springs. Can't you?
I honestly don't know. I thought it could...
Here. And then I'll lean into her ear. All I remember is your breath in my ear from that day. And all I know is that now. Come.
She nods. You take small steps and just naturally go to sit on your bed next to each other. Of course, you notice she still hasn't taken off the Utini armor. Indra begins to move naturally, some unspoken dance they have between the two of them.
Yeah.
Begins to undo it, and with just the barest flick of a hand, Lucretia stops that, and Indra nods and then takes a half step back, does not leave. And actually, it's Indra who speaks next. Domina, you should not have turned down the bath that I was going to draw for thee. I don't know what's going to happen tonight. I can't be that vulnerable. You of all people should know that. I know, and Indra does look to you first, I know that it's over now. You actually are truly safe. Look whom you sit beside. You said that before. And what happened? A madman, a rabid animal, came into this keep and kidnapped a friend of mine. A woman that I've come in a short period of time to hold in a great deal of esteem.
Lucretia, please. It's not your fault. Though we might never be safe, we can at least be ourselves.
I have, and then regretfully, Indra looks regretful, but puts a finger out, and her very, and then, right, the decury, Titus. And she does, this time she takes your hand and she squeezes it. It's good that you have a 20 strength now, because she squeezes it pretty hard. The decury, they don't know what to do with themselves. They're lost. They've been behaving. They refuse to separate. I'm going to order them to separate.
Men.
And now you hear them, 10 men marching.
Yeah. Those forged in what you experienced are always going to be together.
They refuse to... For the one night that I got to sleep here, they literally refused to leave the keep. They slept outside of my door. I didn't have the heart to disband them formally. I didn't know.
They choose to follow you. That is their choice.
Unthinkable. They're your men.
They've bled with you. They are our men. If anyone has earned a place in this keep more so than them, I would like them to stand forward, for they are not.
And they don't beat on the door. They know that she knows they're here. And you just hear clank, clank, clank on the other side.
I will make arrangements for them.
I'm not going to shirk from this. Just stay near me, okay?
Well, if you'd like me to be there, I will.
She gets up. She walks the couple steps to your door. Nods to Indra, and Indra has perfected opening a door without appearing.
Yeah.
As this goes on, Indra does drift, and you see the men acknowledge her. And of course, you remember that she did get there for the second half of that campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And outside are the 10 faces. Sergeant Emilius, Corporal Stalai, Sergeant Quintus, the one who was born in Leptis Regium, who could read. There are some others. And you know what, Donnie? I'm going to say you make this roll. That some sort of divine grace just kind of floats up, and you know all of these names.
Okay.
There's Diwali, who was a nobody when this started. There's always been this peculiar, the fifth person, there's always been this peculiar small guy named Servius who's kept to himself, but obviously had something going for him because here he is. Mm-hmm. Kind of a broad-shouldered fellow named Antonius. A Two Rivers person named Quay, who is Old Empire stock, and Kuind. A sunny dispositioned, and I say that with dripping sarcasm, Proculus, who's there as the ninth and last human. And then you have the two surviving Kithki. And you realize that you had heard the name Kaushik, Touchdown, but it actually is a different Kaushik.
Oh, okay.
So apparently Kaushik Touchdown, who stayed with you, so there may be now two Kaushiks in the city, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
This guy's much older. He looks like a weathered oak, his face. And this is the one who is now known as the Arrow of Dusk, whom Lucretia told you that the old power came to him very late in life, that it came to him. And then you have some small, even for a Kithki, some small toe-headed douchine named Ebby.
Okay, I remember Ebby.
And they're arraigned, and it's almost like their positions now are as determined as the planets and the stars, where they always stand in a certain way.
I like that, yeah.
With one another.
It's like a row of chess. Always has to be the same.
Always has to be the same.
That's awesome.
And as soon as she opens, they all drop to a knee and keep their heads bowed until she speaks.
I'll put my hand on her shoulder while she's about to speak and go, I believe I have an idea.
She nods, looks to you.
May I? Hello, gentlemen. Ladies.
The heads snap up. And Sergeant Emilius, Domini.
There's two things about being a soldier. Bleeding with your fellow and breaking bread with them. I don't know about you all, but I'm quite famished. Come. And Titus is going to start walking towards the kitchens, begging, like,
They
to follow.
They look at one another, and Emilius's eyes are kind of wide. They all look to her, and she doesn't answer. She does start following you. Ender starts following, and you hear Ebby say, well, I am kind of hungry. And they all kind of look at him, and and then he gets up and he trots, and so one by one.
Yeah. Today, yeah.
The rest of the, and then just a little hint of urgency. Finally, Emilius and Salai are the last two looking at one another, and you go down to the kitchen, and it will be for another time, but you look and you notice that several of the staff are not there anymore. But you fire it up, and I feel like Titus had been practicing cooking at one point.
He was practicing cooking at one point. Also, he brings in enough chairs that it's all... There's the one long table in that, but he's bringing up all the chairs, so it's more sitting around.
Okay.
Knights of the Round Table, but something very similar.
Okay.
And he'll start breaking out bottles of wine, start breaking out mead.
Okay.
Start breaking out the food that has already been prepared, start lighting up that, and he's just like, come.
Again, they look at each other, unsure, and then...
Tell me of your scars, and I'll tell you of mine. Yeah.
Domini are, it was in defense of Germentum. Come now, Sergeant. Your lord has asked thee for tales. Even a chosen warrior, the likes of my mistress, would not scruple against that sort of entreaty.
Thank you. Put perfectly.
And
they're all sitting down super nervously.
yeah, oh yeah, no, I mean they're like
he's going
like
around
squirming,
and serving each of one of them.
Lucretia she stands back and she watches you.
Lucretia, please grab some more wine. Need your help with this as well.
I rather think you do.
Yep.
And a lady of the old empire who can trace her lineage back to Greatest Magnus and its founding, who carries the dignitas across her shoulders and in her bones, in that moment goes to serve these men. And the kind of the small weird one, Servius, you see tears starting to well up in his eyes. There's some look that even you aren't sure of as Lucretia watches him for a bit. And as still no one's really said much, but then Ebby starts talking about how bad the food was and how good it is to be drinking this. And he's the first one. He's just now, instead of shaking, he's just kind of doing the Kithki thing in the chair, you know?
The only thing I can be sure of is the wine and meat are good. I apologize. I haven't cooked in some time.
This is Sly. That's all we need, Domini. This is incredibly gracious. Thank you.
You served my city, I will serve you.
It is our city too. We could do no less. We all knew the risks.
That's why you are here now. You have my utmost gratitude.
Your grandsire, he was magnificent. I'm glad it's your blood who's leading us.
Me too.
And now you feel Lucretia's hand on your shoulder.
And for the first time, he feels that in the throat as he's like, I am privileged to have the honor of leading these men.
Yeah, you
it's
feel
the only
it now.
time that he believes that he's actually worthy of doing so.
She says, not to once more overstep my autoritas. And now, and Indra just magically produces another seat for her lady to sit down. as she's sitting down, you know, Lucretia totally trusts her right hand.
The opposite of the trick out pool. Yeah.
No, exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
She says, you are correct to come to me in the sight of thy lord. There are several matters that must be seen through. And I did promise thee that if we made it back, and here we are, that they would be shown. What we speak of here tonight stays with us. The parts that are tender and difficult, your Lord will consider what is to be let out. That is not my decision to make. I will say that again to all of you. Do not come to me after this. That is not my decision. And some of the more perspicacious of them, like Salai and Quintus, look at each other and they are reading layers to it. And she says, first and foremost, and Salai says, please, Domina, can I be last? Very well. Try my patience, but very well. Then, Quintus, and she says, do you want the good or the bad, Domini?
Whatever you feel is just. It's always the bad first.
Quintus was unknowingly, and I believe this, and my advisor, Starstep, believes this. He was unknowingly providing some information to Leptis Regium, where he was born from. The context is this. You know that he has the secret of the word. It was an open secret here. You also know that he has some training in hermetic willworking, which is, again, not to leave this room. That would be his life. There was a colleague that he thought, and Quintus says, it kind of looks at her and, very well. There was an intimate of his that he thought he could trust from the annex that they have there. Leptis Regium's equivalent of the College of Mysteries. Quintus is a far cry from stupid, believe me. And he was careful in what he wrote, but there were certain deductions that they could make. I won't go through the entire thing now. I can write it for you, but essentially when that came to light, he ceased communication with them. That's the bad. That's for you to judge. Here's the good. We would all be dead without him. He had the ability to translate at critical moments from Daro to the Utini tongue, which they call Ujo.
Ujo.
Yes. And it changed what was happening. Thy grandsire, thy invincible, magnificent, brilliant grandsire, gave us an opening. It got their attention. Had we not been able to parley, had we not been able to get into their capital, had I not been able to challenge their chief of chiefs, you know the outcome.
I had the dream. Quintus.
He looks at you. Domini, if it's my head you seek, I give it to you. I understand.
Affairs of the heart can always be the most difficult. I have no ill will towards you. Nor does anyone at this table, I would imagine.
Thank you. And they all look at you, and you all hear some variation of thank you.
For that, and knowing of your ability to translate in this, I feel as though that Sergeant is not very fitting. I believe tactician. We'll discuss this more in the moons to come.
Thank you, Dominique. I
thank you for your service. And I know how hard it must have been to feel that betrayal. If it was so. But if you are loyal here now, I will be loyal to you till the end of our days. Is that understood?
Very much so. The person in question helped me escape bondage and slavery and certain death. I thought they could be relied upon. I was wrong.
They are still worthy of being forgiven. They might not have known anything of this city.
Even now.
Who is not?
I will not argue with the Lord who just gave me my life back. And he bows from his chair.
Love is fickle at times like those. So is allegiance, but you've proven yours here now. Perhaps they can prove a different outcome.
That is my fondest wish, my lord. That they would come and live with me here.
Then it is mine as well.
He, overcome with emotion, he just nods again. Field Corporal Servius, the kind of the weird, squirrely one. He's always nervous. It's time to step out of the shadows. I don't... You do. You've earned it. Here, it's not forbidden. On whatever thy parents said, it's over now. Just...
Speak your truth.
Rather, I'd show it. And with some help from Dwali and Antonius, they undo the breastplate. And you have to look, and it's small, but you're looking at a woman. I lied a long time ago and got really good at it, and it was easier this way.
Welcome.
I'm not going to have to be Servia now, right? I can keep my name.
Would you like to have your old name back, or?
No, fuck no. I mean, no, my lord.
Fuck no, it is.
Okay.
Welcome, my lady. And then he does a wink as like a joke, like
she blushes like really deep red, and yeah, okay. All right, fuck faces, put that back on. And
stop staring, everyone.
She says, looks over, you have eschewed Kaushik? Yep. Good. And so, Arrow of Dusk. Actually, I kind of like Death at Dusk. Yeah, I like it when you said that was the last translation, right, Quintus? Yes, it was. Yeah, so he looks, I don't want to be no, begging your pardon, sir, I don't want to be no fucking sergeant or anything, but, you know, the mother finally gave me the old power. I've only been asking for it for, I don't know, about 40 years now. So, here I am.
People like a story. The Arrow of Dusk is a pretty good story, and it doesn't really scare anyone. So,
Scared
the
them?
old translation, how about we keep it Death Dusk between us and those that we face, not those that look up to you?
Can I have both?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good.
Just give one to the little ones. Give them a little bit of hope rather than the death arrow.
I mean, I still have a seppu. Yeah, no, I follow your wind. And
Titus, the bringer of heads, doesn't really sound that good. Not when you're trying to...
I mean, I kind of like it.
You would.
But, yeah, and the only other thing I want to ask is, can I want to arm wrestle you when we're done with this. I'm just kind of curious. I want to see. I can beat all these other fuckers except for him. He points to Emilius.
Perhaps.
Okay.
Let me see how much mead you can have.
Oh, well, that I have no problem with. And Salai, we come to thee now. Do I really have... Yes. If you want it. Yes, you have to, in front of everyone. This is your family now, if you haven't figured it out. I know that, Domina. My specific line has been here since the beginning of Germentum, actually, before. And he looks at Emilius. There's, I don't think there's a future here for me, the way that I always dreamed, and so, and Emilius looks away from him, and this is so hard.
Take your time.
I want to ask you to release me from the service at Germentum so that I can go with the lady's retinue and go with her wherever she goes. Dominique, sorry, but it's needful. I can't. Looks at Emilius. I can't stay here.
This is for all of you around the table. You are not bound by any servitude that you see that you are owed, or that you owe me or my blood.
We know we're free men, Domini, Amelia says, and we're damn proud of that.
You may go as you please. I would ask you to stay, but I'm a lord, and all I will ever do is ask.
Salai gets up and drops down and puts his head on your knee. He's really small.
Yeah.
For like a fighter.
Not eyes. You owe me nothing. I owe you all.
And then he gets up and he stands opposite Indra.
For now, does anyone else wish to leave?
Fuck that.
I know that I have your silence and your trust. If not within me, then within her. For this is not to leave this room. Is that understood? For this is not a punishment by me, but a punishment by consequence.
Amelius looks at them. We will never speak of this again without your leave, Lord Titus Metellus Glabriovorn.
Truth and justice. How do those factor into whatever god you've seen before?
Puzzled looks.
For Quaelathon is light, but by those stations of light.
We all have different lights, Domini, Amelia says.
Would there be one that would arise above all?
I mean, they kind of smile, and it seems like they've had this discussion before. And Quintus says, with full respect, my lord, all the lights have to be co-equal or the entire system falls apart. And we're back to the bad days of religious warfare and pogroms.
What do you all remember of Jason Tenderheart?
They all looked to Quintus. Domina, I'll speak. He was the great chosen, second only to greatest Magnus, a incredible champion of Quaelathon, roughly 2 centuries ago. Yes, supposedly buried it somewhere in the Riverlands. Actually, he wielded. Oh,
There are some
fuck.
gaps of truth within that story.
And they're like, what? And Ebby's tugging at Quintus. What? Quintus, what? Hold on just a second.
It was not the Riverlands. It was not Quaelathon. Her name, and then he's going to pull out his sword and kind of put it onto his shoulder like that and be like, is Concord.
They all start looking at that. They all look at each other. A few of them can't tear their eyes off of the weapon.
And Quaelathon was not. For it was Tuea.
Amelius looks at you. Domini,
It's blasphemy, I know, from the understandings of what you hear now.
it's not for the likes of me to tell the likes of you anything along those lines. But we fought for Quaelathons, of course, for the dream, of course. But
You may continue to fight for Quaelathon. That is understood. What I say, though, of a church of men tend to shift things to their own understanding. But peace and truth and justice, the ideals that are sanctious by Quaelathon's light, but not war. Not lust. Not what those men have always pined for.
The fifth light is war. I follow it myself.
I did too.
I know. I know.
I'm asking you to... I'm not asking you. I want to let you all know that there is more. I was chosen. Not chosen in the sense of our different type, but chosen by her. I looked down at Concord. And by the mistress of the Long Peace, Tuea.
The
Quaelathon is still a god. Saying that of all the mighty deeds that you've heard throughout history, by Jason Tenderheart, those before, I know at least him who changed away from this mistress of the Long Peace.
You see the warrior scholar Quintus have a very a look of deep consideration on his face. The rest of them are kind of in different stages of shock or grappling with it.
Inside our own walls, the light of Quaelathon tried to snuff out. You probably have come to know him as Marcus.
I remember hearing about that. A rogue Templar. Disgusting, disgraceful.
Also the ones within the church that tended to be seemingly loyal were testing him to see if he was Quaelathon's light. Why would a church that praises to be good try to kill something that is different? Why would those in a leftist region that fear them being the greatest of all empires try to snuff out our little light?
The rest of them naturally look to Emilius to speak. My lord, I wouldn't even try to answer those questions.
I can't answer them now either.
As long as it's enough for you to know that our swords and our lives and our blood is yours and your lines and our homes, then we will continue to serve you to the end.
And you understand why I can't keep any secrets from you if that is what you swore to me.
Truth, you said.
I may seem like a charlatan now. I know that I'm challenging what we have all raised to know. But this truth has gotten men killed. Will get men killed.
Fuck that, Servius says. We all know that your blood runs true. Who among us is going to say otherwise? You're the grandson of the old lion, of Titus motherfucking Invictus.
I wonder what he would say here now, knowing these truths. That being said, I do know him probably best of anyone here. He'd probably say nothing. He'd probably just be willing to fight. And that's what I promise to you all. I will not get you killed for something foolish.
We know that, Dominie. And
you were the first ones in the city to know this.
Thank you for trusting us, then.
I must live my truth just as much as you must live yours. Whether it be a woman, whether it be a lover, whether it be an old arrow of death.
Yep.
Any of you.
And Lucretia says, I'm going to give you an order you didn't like a few nights ago, and this time you're not going to tell me anything other than yes. And I'm going to amend that order by saying, go to my horse, go to my equine, go to my equine, you know where he's at. Take care of him. I will see you in the morning. I will not leave like a thief in the night, nor at dawn, without seeing you again. I want time with my lord now. I've given you fuckers enough. And she smiles, and they kind of hoot a little bit.
I go, scooting back out. I'm like, Lady's orders.
She rises. They all rise into the matter of Imperatrix. It was on a field of blood from the bottom of thy souls. I accept it, and at the same time, it has its place, gentlemen. Those who are staying here are his. He is your general. Those who are going with me, you will learn a different life in Leptis Regium. Imperatrix is not part of that life, not yet. All right. And softly, she says, dismissed. And one by one, they bow to you. Emilius, for all of them, kneels to you. The best non-chosen representative of the dream in the city. And then they leave. Salai has one last lingering look back at her, back at you, and she says, and Indra says, your training starts tomorrow. Well done. She puts a hand kind of resting on your arm.
Yeah.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you. I couldn't imagine these men to be as hopeful as they showed with anyone else other than you.
I came to love them. I can admit that now. And Indra kind of does that thing of herding the two patricians on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the two of you start walking.
So easy to love. Always. Scary, but easy to love.
I'm not sure of the truth of that statement, but I'll take it.
Fair enough.
It was the Kithki, Titus Metellus. That's what changed it. I've been in succession wars before. You asked for his name. Once, I evaded. Xerxes was his name.
I thought you meant your son.
That too. That's a different sort of war. I've seen men slaughtered by the hundreds and the thousands. That was not what got me. It was the fucking Kithki.
Yeah, that way.
They're braver than we are, aren't they?
And then some.
The strength of children in the hearts of lions. It wasn't just a line of rhetoric.
They still choose us. Why must you go?
Come again?
Why must you go?
You're back up to your room before she answers. I'm not gone yet. Indra opens the door for you, zips in front of you and opens it.
That's
what's on it. Yeah, closes it. You get hints of how freaking quick she is.
Mm.
Faster than Merrick.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Indra. You will be fine.
I understand. She nods.
Thank you.
Wait, don't go. Domina? No, don't go. Oh, Lou. And then she goes to your desk and is sitting basically as far away as she can, like takes a stool out.
Okay.
It's as far as away from the two of you as she can, but hasn't left. I should have opened this before I left for the war. I left a scroll for you the last time. You should read it now, Titus Metellus.
You said I should only read it if you were dead.
I've come back from death. And The sentiments therein are somewhat more tepid than what I feel now, but they are essentially correct.
If you're ordering me to Imperatrix, I will read it.
Everything you said down there, you're in earnest, aren't you?
I can't not be truthful anymore.
You're what I sensed about thee. The majesty, the uncanniness, that is literally Concord.
It is.
You are. Not all of us have been bamboozled by the church's lies. I've read the old original texts. I know. You are her Bellator Sanctus.
Yes.
You know that my faith is at the cornerstone of who and what I am. But this is a goddess of pure and unadulterated justice.
That's why I can't lie anymore. I can't say with what my heart is full of. I love you. I don't want you to go. I'm afraid. Being chosen by this and being a Bellator Sanctus has only opened me up for what my heart truly feels. What it truly means to me to be yours.
You have changed. Thy love has changed the course of my life. My river, Kogi, runs differently now.
I would not have been worthy of Troy if I never met you.
I would not have had the reason to fight that hard to come back, not even though it shames me to say for my own flesh and blood. There was a part of me that came here to die. I know that now. Yes, Indra, you were right. I was lying.
And there has to be a part of you to stay here to live.
Read it. Louder to thyself, it does not matter. I know the words, as does my handmaiden.
If your eyes touch this page, I did not succeed in all that I have set out to accomplish when I marched alongside your grandsire as his shield maiden. At the bare minimum, I would have been extinguished with my dignitas restored, and then on my own terms. No small victories in this world of muscle and blood. You tended me true affection in a lifetime that has seen little enough. For this I have to thank thee. And thank thee and thank thee. Perhaps thou weren't a consummate mama, quietly worked some hidden aim with me. I'd rather think it not. I find it more likely that your words match your heart and your tender touch. Ultimately, it does not matter, as I have got to my grave knowing what I know now, that I have found an unexpected, remarkable harbor amidst the storms of my life. Veil, my crimson-mannered fool, fight hard, and if these were life after death, I shall march upon thee with fondness and gratitude. Below are Marcus' throne. I have sent an update to my will and Major Domina and Sword Sister. And I look over at Indra.
Indra nods.
I expect she will comply, and I home with the moon a tomb from a gift. Grayleth unwilling.
That was a report of what I knew about the Utini at that time. I know 100 times more. I'll commit it. Everything that I wrote, that too is increased 10, 100-fold.
And I will commit every part of you to myself.
Lou, do not play with his heart. It is too tender and too deep. Tell him. I know it's in the scroll, or some variation thereof. There will be the world before I open it. There will be the world after. Very deliberately, she takes it and she puts it on the desk. I have flouted His Majesty's law this long. It can keep for one more night. Lou, let me cut that ridiculous hair of yours and get you out of that fucking armor. And she gets up. Insolent much? Well, you did say we're using given names right now. You've never done that in front of a man. You've never done that in front of someone else before.
Seems quite natural for you two. I love it. Yeah. That's so cute.
Indra starts just expertly taking it off and muttering about non-standard straps and what idiot buckled it here.
Yeah. A double goddamn sailor's knot. That's for your bracer, goddammit. Yeah.
You see what I put up with? This woman is relentless at home.
I can imagine it only to be worse.
And she says, I hope, my lord, you are not scandalized. I'm not wearing much underneath. A standard gambeson didn't exactly fit, so it's mainly hides and furs. I guess, as they say in the Empire, I've gone native. And she's true to her word as the armor's coming off.
He goes, he's like flustered, obviously, like, there's a thing about a soldier when he returns home, and then when he sees that kind of thing, he's like, oh, totally. Like, but he's not saying it as such. But.
She slips her hand into yours. Even for her, there's some extra calluses, and you can fairly feel the pulse of her chosen quintessence moving through her, and a bit into you, as that dance that has always been there, Donnie, since the very first moment that you laid eyes on one another, and you actually spotted her first, riding like a pagan goddess on a mission of mercy.
When will you be back?
Ask it, Don. And
for tonight, you're mine forever. And then I'll kiss her.
Indra starts to move. The two of you are on your bed. She looks over at a different kind of soulmate.
Mm-hmm.
And you can feel that now. This is not just a bond of camaraderie. This is a very deep thing. Indra, don't leave. She looks. This is a night of union and joining, Lucretia. I know that. Don't leave. And she walks over to you and joins the two of you.
I was afraid that was going to happen. If I want to disappoint two people at once, I'd talk to my parents. But that is beautiful.
The night passes grudgingly. Moments of knowing what's to come, but for the most part, you at least, you lead, and you show Lucretia how not to have to carry that terrible burden every second of every day or night. And
I'm finally stronger than her and Indra. Great.
Yeah, you
First
are.
time ever. Woohoo!
And you can feel them, and Indra's usually, she's about as tall as an average man. She's like 5'9".
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, big patrician people.
Yeah, that's so true. Like his veil is like 6.
He's like 6 feet.
Yeah. And I was like, plus is 6'5". Like, she's like the only time where she's like, hi.
And Indra's, at one point, Indra says, well, it's a good fucking thing that I'm limber because this bed. And sorry, there's certainly moments of comedy.
Yeah.
At one point, the two women threaten to conspire to kick you off of the bed.
Fair enough.
They just kind of dangle you off the edge and yank you back up, because that bed really is not made for 3 people.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Like every time looking over the big one, he's like, nah. Like still considering it, but nah.
And you find in your joining, miraculously, there's an element of playfulness that has never been there before. That wasn't there couldn't be there at the Springs.
Makes perfect sense.
She didn't know you to that degree. She hadn't been through a war and she didn't trust you that much. Your feelings haven't changed, they've just deepened. And you, as the dawn begins to stretch forth its fingers, and the sky lightens, pinks and oranges as the grays fade, as the purple fades to gray, and then back with the rising sun. Your beloved is out. Something wakes you, though.
I guess I'd look over at the scroll. Because she probably wants me to read it when she's gone. She told me to wait until dawn.
You feel
too long.
You feel like Indra, on the other hand, who's absolutely draped and intertwined with the two of you. There's like literally no room not to be.
Makes sense. It's like a pretzel.
As soon as
essence.
I've chosen, Jesus Christ.
The
Yeah.
pretzel chosen essence is the name of this episode.
As soon
What does this one mean? Don't worry, skip ahead.
As soon as the three of you, or as soon as you come to consciousness and you begin that contemplation, you feel Indra stir very slightly against you. And with that supreme limberness and kind of bodily agility that she has that surpasses even her mistress, she shimmies up without waking up Vale. Blessed morning, she whispers into your ear.
Good morning.
That scroll. You have quite a bit of self-restraint to have carried it this long.
I'm a man of my oath.
I see that now. I see why you have changed her. I believe she has changed you as well.
Yes. She sure has. Should I be afraid, Indra? Not for me, but for her.
Technically, we're still on a given name basis right now. She slides out, wraps a robe around herself without bothering with the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sits in a perfect lotus position, and your bed is pretty low, so you're close. And Lucretia's on the other side of you in a deep, needful sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I owe her everything. Freedom, sanity, a chance to be chosen, to find my path, everything, the truth. But I'm willing to make a wager.
Speak your terms.
What do you need to know? that this does not end in tragedy. And I will answer your question at the end, but what do you need to know? I will not betray that woman, but I will help in my own way to the best of my judgment, and she knows that.
Will she be happy?
Here?
Where she has to go.
Her dignitas will remain intact.
It's not what I asked.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Then try to make her happy.
You really do love her, don't you? And she has not spoken those words to you yet, has she? Do you?
I don't need to hear them. I just want to know that she'll be happy.
She reaches out and tenderly touches your cheek for a moment.
A tear kind of goes over her fingers in that moment.
You are greater than you were before, in every conceivable dimension. I will do what I can to convince her of the path that I think is best for everyone. I see it clearly now. It is narrow, Titus Metellus, but it does exist.
If it's not with me, I understand. But what you and I must do sometimes must be for her. Do you understand?
I believe I do.
It's the worst part about being chosen by the goddess of truth. I have to live mine.
I am grateful that nothing so terrible as a god or goddess chose me.
Not yet.
Indra, Titus, her hand is on your back. Lucretia, you should sleep still. No, it's day is already broken. I've slept too long. Please get my. I know.
Her hair better cut. Titus looks at Indra kind of like.
You feel a soundless. Actually, no, a soundless but amused laugh run through Lucretia's body.
Oh, good. I was expecting yeah.
Well, what do they say? Hair grows back. She stands up completely, and that is something that both of these women share. Both of them completely and totally own themselves.
Yeah, unabashed.
There's
themselves.
No shame, no anything as they move through. And now she takes naked as the day she was born, naked as when Quaelathon made her. She looks out over the Kogi. Magnificent. Now I understand thee from another perspective, literally, Titus Metellus. This is what you grew up with. I guess I have been in this room once before at dawn, but I was busy writing missives and missing you, Indra, and I couldn't just breathe.
It's easier to defend now. It's easier to know what you must do.
Bit of time passes. Indra seeks out some simple fare. Lucretia just has a a couple bites of maybe some collen fruit.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in something resembling. There's no Livia's old armor got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah.
So she finds her. Apparently, you can't imagine Indra's just going into your sister's room without permission.
Well, I would imagine that we would have made our way over there eventually. If not, Titus would have.
But she
But he's keeping the mourning as long as he can. And I'm sure that they would send word if Livia was awake asking. But
She's not
I would
awake
imagine,
yet.
I would imagine that
Yeah,
this is the first time that Titus is the early riser in the house. In the history of them being twins, this is the first time he's up early.
Probably.
Yeah.
Indra comes back, and it's funny. Aside from it being tight through the shoulders, your sister's clothing, I've never had another woman whose clothing fit me, ever. You're looking at her, Donnie. You've never seen her
Indra as a woman,
in a
basically.
feminine in a feminine garb before.
Yeah. I'm like,
She's always been either in armor most of the time, or just like in a man's traveling breeches and
100%.
tunic.
Yeah. It's a good look on you. I'm sure Olivia wouldn't mind if you kept it.
Wrong colors. And Indra nods to you. And she nods approvingly. She was about to say something, but she's like, "Yep." Why do I get the feeling that I'm now suddenly outnumbered? Because you are a wise and perceptive woman.
I would never say something less so. But Ed Griffin still has wings. Because of the eagle.
She smiles at you. Thank you. Just thank you.
And I thank you.
And she breaks the wax seal on it.
Surprised the dragon didn't break it when it was in my chest. Still much to tell you.
Yes, I imagine you had just as much of a little outing as I did. At least he's to the point. It's a funny thing. When a man is so invested in sadism, as His Majesty is, he becomes, even a very intelligent man, rather predictable. So, it's as bad as you thought. Yes, but no worse.
What am I to expect?
I am bidden by His Majesty, current occupant of the Sun Throne of the Graden Empire, to render all and present aid to Leptis Regium in the acquisition of Geramentum, if that is the way the negotiations require. Up to and including leading their forces in the field.
I'd love to say I was surprised.
We have several things going for us. One of them is that the Magistrate Major, the civic head of Leptis Regium, loves me, which is only slightly less than the Primate of Leptis Regium, the ecclesiastical head, feels about me.
What do your men feel about you?
Currently in Leptis Regium, I have no men. He will...
What about those of the Kogi?
And you see that calculation. And because, Donnie, and I thought about this for a long time, because you know it's always a blend of mechanics and roleplay, because you have done every last thing correct, you pass this without rolling. You see this in regards to your relationship with her. There was only one thing you couldn't rebut, but it's been rebutted now by your actions. The law of history.
Mm-hmm.
You see the calculation behind her eyes, and then you see her make the decision to continue to speak to you as Lucretia, and not as War Lady Vale. I know their legate. I know the man who will be the legate, who is most likely to be appointed. His name is Pontius. He is workmanlike, highly organized, and beyond predictable. He will want a conventional campaign. He will, with the magistrate in his ear, he will attempt to squeeze down the war effort to be as inexpensive as possible to save every last sestertius, which is foolish. I am well aware that Geramentum punches above its weight, and I know how I would take this city, and I know how it would be best preserved in the assault. Pontius will not take this approach. He will think that this is some sort of rustic village, some sort of pathetic little operation, and he'll march up the Kogi on land. Or if he's really sloppy, he'll just go on sea. He won't do what he should do, which is have naval and land support interlocking with one another to fight off the raids and ensure the supply lines.
So his hubris will be our advantage.
The fact that he is a plebeian and will bend the knee to a very magnetic magistrate major. You haven't met him yet. He is a presence, and of course he seeks to become a patrician no matter how, through marriage. It can't be him now, but it will be his son.
Mm.
You know they have designs on your sister. I don't tell you anything new.
Yes, I'm aware.
Any road. If there is any humanly possible way, I promise you this, and she takes your hand, I will find the way out of being in that command. I couldn't stomach turning on this city, on this... I know, Indra. Just say it. Sometimes I regret telling you everything.
I don't.
On turning on what has become for me a second home. It just slipped out of my mouth, and I said I'm ready to come home when we were marching back, and I didn't mean Leptis Regium.
When you say this, of whatever comes to you to do, I, as Lord of the city, and I will use my title as Bellator Sanctus, if it does not place you in harm.
Titus Metellus, she squeezes your hand hard. If we are across each other on a field of battle, fight. These people deserve so much. I still haven't been able to answer my own question, but now, here in this room, seeing that artifact at your side, feeling you, yeah, and yes, feeling you inside me, I know there is an answer to a question I believed was insoluble. That in the long sweep of history, there is one immutable rule. Power rules. I don't entirely believe that now, and I'm looking for an answer.
I can tell you one. Justice cannot fail, nor truth, nor freedom. This city, your home, will not fall. come back.
And you see a tear run down her face, and she embraces you. And that, friends, is where we will pause the tale. And
My goodness.
it doesn't want to go out. Justice does not want to be
the tale is too good.
And Donnie, I'm going to give you a fate point for that.
Yeah! We're back up to 3, ladies and gentlemen. Woo!
And a grand total of 10.
Grand total of 10.
This campaign.
My goodness.
Well, faraway friends, I hope you enjoyed that, and we will be back shortly. Please stick around, and we'll see you on the other side.
And I just heard the elevator opened up.
And we just heard the elevator open up, and
So it's not just me.
we may have a few friends. All right, thank you so much. See you soon.
Woo!
Bye.
Eldritch Foundry is evolving. Bringing you a virtual army of miniatures like never before in full tabletop-ready color. Paint your miniatures in our upgraded creation tool, then bring them to life in stunning one-to-one detail as 3D printed miniature masterpieces. With complete control over your digital color scheme, you can point and click for simple color fills or go all in on highlights, shading, brush techniques, and more. Create epic heroes and madness-touched monsters that are truly yours. Miniatures are 3D printed in perfect color detail using a new PolyJet 3D printing process, giving you unique, bespoke models ready to delve into any dungeon as part of your next campaign. Everything from one-off player characters to dungeon mobs and boss-level monsters that will make every player in your group jealous. But that's not all. You can take things fully digital and export into leading VTT platforms such as Tailspire and Roll20 to take your games and your custom miniatures wherever you want. Join the adventure of a lifetime. Back our campaign today to help us bring this stunning revolution in custom miniature design to reality. With Eldritch Foundry, full-color 3D design and printing.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
Lift our voice to greet the rising sun. Your splendorous touch burns away the dark. With a soft golden hue, your world is made anew. We follow the path you've laid.
Faraway friends, we have returned a bit energized because the whole table is here.
Sorry about the elevator.
Titus got lit.
Yep. Wow. Yep.
it could happen to you. Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons.
I just want to say, when Donnie and I broke and we walked into the control room, there was a spontaneous cheer that I wish I could have had, because
First threesome at the table.
represented you.
If there's anything else I can take away from that, Lord,
Darkeport history.
First,
That's what's important.
100%. I don't see Strahd doing that.
So about that, welcome back.
Vampire trash.
And we have a little candle.
We do. Here it comes.
All right.
Jeez, guys.
I told you there's some pent up energy here.
Yeah, I know.
No, you're gonna have to.
I'm a little drained.
You're gonna have to raise the energy now, Tony. You're gonna have to get right there.
You're right here. We're up here. You gotta meet us.
This is the most you've ever seen your lord chill.
And not from exhaust. Well, different kind of exhaustion.
No, he's exhausted from high-fiving.
So, we rejoin our intrepid heroes? Question mark. There is a little something going on. There's a little quasi-Sertiman going on outside of Figilsnaeus's Wylam question mark hut. As beloved Trisley suggests that Mithra, perhaps you can help him with a bit of clarity.
It would be my pleasure. And they'll get into a position, get out this crazy twin sword.
Just a quick logistical question before we begin. So we are standing at the threshold of the hut. I am, at least.
I don't think you had moved much.
Trisley to my left, Mirza to my right.
Trisley had begun to stroll a bit, so their back is to you right now.
So I'm just a few feet off the threshold, and Mithra is 20, 30 feet in front of me.
Something like that.
Probably.
Because they were, Mithra was kind of lagging behind somewhat, but was still within easy earshot of everything that was going on.
Great. So as I see this person draw their blade, I will draw mine own, and as I feel the mana rush within me, the yellow energy starts crackling around my right hand. As I'm stepping back into an attack stance, there's a bit of a hesitation, and he looks down at his hand, pulsing with energy, and regards it quizzically for a flicker before... And erupting from it is a gout of brilliant green flame that dances and shakes with mana energy before it is quickly extinguished again. And there's a look on his face where it's like, almost that he didn't expect that.
Are you polite enough to allow this to happen?
Yeah.
There is-
I'll nod and go, compensating for something I see.
Didn't hear that.
20 feet away.
Wesa would say in her draconic language, and like kind of shove him a bit. If you're going to do this here, get away from the hut.
As you say, in draconic. Just a brief step forward, but still kind of just like eyes fixed on his blade. Briefly turns back to Trisley with a look on his face that says, "This is because of you."
They don't see you because their back is to you and they're strolling off.
And then as he like kind of reschools himself for the violence to come, there's just his jaw sets and a determined look greets you.
Wesa starts to herd him away,
Okay.
away from the hut.
Do you resist?
We are, so we're like 10 feet away from the hut currently?
Well, you were in the threshold of the hut and then she's herding you out. So do you get out from the hut about 10 feet?
10 feet closer to my opponent?
Sure.
Is that what you're attempting?
Not necessarily.
Yeah, you could do like a wide berth.
You can do a wide berth, yeah.
I mean, she's smart.
I understand.
You don't know that.
She knows that she's smart.
Lisa, make a perception roll as all this is going on.
Perception, 17.
What would that be for insight?
Insight, that would be a 21.
Okay, because it's kind of it's kind of half of one, half the other. When you spoke on Draconic, you saw Mirza's bushy brow twitch upward. He was noting it, appreciating it, and you think you're not certain, but you think he was trying to translate it in his head. Okay, so yeah, you're like she's Mitra's a fixed point. You're kind of pushed out this direction, so it hasn't really changed the geometry of y'all. You're just away from the hut.
So the hut is not anywhere within my that as it was before, and it is fine that it is that way now.
Whole time as you're moving, you see Mitra's one eye just do a little scan as you're moving, trying to figure out something, but not moving.
Drisley turns with an easy grace and is a further 30 feet past Mithra. And Mirza also retreats back maybe 10, so they're now about 40 feet apart from each other, with Mithra as the fixed point, and then yourself kind of...
No one within 30 feet of me, but...
No.
Good.
No.
Just you and me, buddy. Just you and me.
Yeah, just kind of a set grimace on his face, regards you, eyes slightly glowing. On your count, Justicar.
Rushes immediately towards him by 40 feet of movement.
Okay.
So
yeah, you're there.
My presumption is that I have the dex advantage here. Is that not correct?
You are incorrect.
Amazing. Carry on.
Oh, okay. And they'll do kind of like this flourish with the twin.
We changed the stat dex rank.
18.
18, but you have a higher wisdom, so you're processing faster. Okay.
Did you ready your action then?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're spinning their blade as they're coming towards you and starts to swing.
Okay, roll.
Oh gosh. We're going for the big gun. Oh my god. Natural 20.
Oh, shit.
So 23 total.
Oh, just barely. Just barely.
Okay, you see,
truly though.
You see all of the angles dance in front of you. You see where you could raise the Aegis, because Figulus has permanently twisted how magic works in this world, and everyone with Aegis is now a battle precognitive and can see these timelines. So it's coming at you, and you see that there is no timeline in which she doesn't connect.
Then he won't even try. He'll just tank it.
He tanks it. Okay, go ahead and roll damage.
Ha! 6.
Minimum. Okay.
Did she roll double because?
Oh yeah, no, you roll. And
Oh
you
yeah!
roll a
Oh my
second
gosh! Yay! Thank you guys.
And you roll a second one. Yeah.
Another one. So
Minimum
10.
damage on that crit. Okay.
10.
Yeah.
So total of 10?
Or no, that would only be 2. That'd be 7, huh?
Yeah, 7.
So total of 7?
Oh yeah.
Because you don't double with you don't double with your stats the second one.
Only dice rolls.
Shink. That is not the end of your turn, unless you want it to be.
I'll take another one. As I hit out, as I twirl my blade, there's like another connection, I think.
Okay, as a bonus action.
Hopefully.
And that's using the dual wield, yeah?
Yeah.
That's how we build it. Go ahead.
Let's see. So that's 21.
This time he sees the blade come and just smacks it out of the air with his draconic arm, mana shimmering across it.
And there is a verbal component to that.
No?
Yes. Oh no, it's just somatic.
I believe so.
No, it's purple. Oh wait, maybe not purple.
For shield, really? There's not a verbal. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, there is a verbal.
Sorry, I've got it written down.
Okay. And you've seen the mana bending. I'm going to remind you are down a second level spell slot because of Gust of Wind.
I have it.
Home dude. Okay. Great.
I'm well away.
Okay, you're ready to go.
As it gets parried, there's a smirk.
It was a good shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just.
Let's see.
And having fought multiple will workers and mana benders, you know that he just looked into the threads, and he saw the one way through that could stymie you. Do you want to do anything else?
I will do. Can I spend a key point to do a? Do I want to?
Do you?
You know what? I'll do a flurry of blows.
All
Do it like
right.
a couple spin kicks, if that's possible.
That is your bonus action, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a bonus action for Flurry of Blows.
Never mind. I already did a bonus action.
Okay, so you have it
Then I'm
called.
good.
Okay, so you have it called up and you're staying right there. You're not going to try to move.
Nope.
Okay,
I'm staying right there.
over to you.
As he has smacked this second shot away, was not anticipating the speed of this opponent, was
Superior.
a little taken aback by that, but has reschooled himself, and time begins to kind of dilate in his perception. He sees the movement and he feels the mana moving quicker and quicker and quicker, and you're going to spend 2 sorcery points.
Okay. As you feel it rising up in you.
As a flame erupts from his left hand and a roar as a gout of green mana energy flows over you. Please make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution. Oh my
Okay.
gosh. This will be fun.
As it blasts over you.
20. Nat 20.
Hey, god damn.
That's a good die there.
That's half damage, yeah.
Damn.
So as he sees this person more able to tank his mana again than he was expecting, he's going to... And then another surge comes up. I'm going to spend another sorcery point to reroll my damage.
To re-roll it. Okay, for intensify. So you think that just as the pulse is dying off, there's a deeper, darker green comes out.
That's better. That's 15, half to 7.
7.
Yeah, 7 points of poison.
Wow, that's not bad. I'll take it.
And then, as we are still in combat range, he's going to just juke to the side, go for your right side where you have that eye missing, and that green flame is going to erupt from his blade and a slash upward.
Okay.
Cool.
You don't have the dual wield feat, and at this table you have to have it to make a physical bonus attack.
So green flame blade is a cantrip.
Oh, so you're using the cantrip for it.
Cool.
And also, it's a bonus action.
And it's a bonus action
So
cantrip.
I can
Okay.
use my attack action. And it's not really doing it, it's just for flavor, because it doesn't actually have the
just for
effect until next player, but
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
all of this is above board.
Yeah.
That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Goo.
Yeah, you try to twist aside. You try to twist aside, and that's poison damage as well.
No,
So
that is slashing damage.
And it's a bonus cantrip attack with that.
So what it?
I'll trust you for now. Just go ahead.
Thank you.
No, I know what he's talking about.
So that is going to be 10 slashing damage.
Goo.
Goo.
And yeah, as he steps back, he's like, come on!
Okay.
Cool.
And just. Oof, this will be fun.
Wesa is trying to read this one over here.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Trying to understand how in control he is right now, and like kind of like where his emotions, like, are they like rooted in something solid, or are they kind of like triggered and
That's a good question. Make an insight check.
crit?
Yeah.
It's going around.
27.
All the 20s are coming out.
So
You're welcome,
explain-
guys. You're welcome.
Tell Tatiana exactly what your where your character is at with the violence.
He feels that this is needful. Not just because they're saying that word. He feels a deep connection to the beloved. He feels that he must understand more about that person. And it seems that the only avenue to do that is through this person, this Mithra. And so he is prepared to end that person's life to see this through.
So you're
Because
trying
you
to
think that Mitra's in the way.
Yeah. Because of his limited understanding of their cultural values, like it seems like this is the thing he has to do in order to.
Oh, so you're like proving yourself.
Right at combat, yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
Yeah.
And do I get a sense of like how true that is, Angel?
For what in terms
Like
of
his
Right.
feeling like that
Right.
she's in the way.
you were focused on him, but remember your character is steeped in ritual, and comes from a world where a culture where something not so far different from this could happen. It'd have a different flavor and context to it, but
Sure.
you think he's probably mistaken that this is the only way. But this is having said that, this is a significant moment.
And it's like a way, in a way.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Got it.
You feel confident that someone of your subtlety could find different avenues. This is what he sees.
If grip is anything but subtle.
This is what he sees.
So he says good morning.
Okay.
Bad breath.
You recognize, Mithra, that your opponent is emptying the gas tank, as it were,
Okay.
to take you down. So your move. I assume you're not going to break contact with her.
Oh, definitely not. First, they'll chuckle and go, quite the fight for someone so small. And we'll do another blade strike.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, because grip
Come
is
on,
the same height as
big dice, big dice. Give me something big. Nope. 14. That's
14.
Not it.
You see the stiffened air is dissipating even in those seconds, but it lingers just long enough to stymie that blow.
It wouldn't.
No, because it's the beginning of your turn,
Yeah, but it would. Never mind.
and she's going first. So
And then I will do a kick as a bonus action because I can.
okay,
That one. That did not.
okay. You manage. So you raise your leg up, and as he's violently thrashing around, because obviously you're not standing like statues until your turn. I mean, everybody's trying to get on everybody else. He fetches up against you. You spin, and it's all you can do to keep your center of gravity underneath you, which you do.
Yep. Yep. And try to like regain their balance, and then they will spend a key point as my bonus action for patient defense.
Okay. You feel it flow through you, and you.
Deep breath. And then still has the blade ready. That's it.
Try this.
This.
As he just exhales poison spray upon her. Make another Constitution saving throw.
Oh, this should be fun. Constitution. 14.
Nope. DC 15.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting my ass beat.
That is 10 points of poison damage.
10 points.
Hot
Oof.
dog.
I am down to 4.
Okay.
Oh.
What was that? Luck. Come on. Show me what you're made of.
Lisa.
I am aware that
Mitra's looking ragged.
right. I am aware of that.
Oh yeah. Doesn't really show any.
But
like,
but like the expression hasn't really changed. But you can, you're kind of familiar with poison, so you can see the veins standing out. You can see green around the gills. You can see the jaundicing, the instant unnatural jaundicing of the eye. I mean, you're like, okay,
Yeah.
and you can feel him just pulling up everything he has and literally screaming it at her.
Yeah. I would say to him, "You're going to kill her. Is it necessary?"
It's their way. I turn to look back and speaking in Draconic.
Cool.
Mitra, that is sufficient. Thank you. I believe we have arrived at a bit of clarity.
Do I get a sense of what that sentiment is?
They're
puts the blade away.
You're clearly speaking in culture terms.
I know, but like, do I know what's going on?
You can try. Go ahead and make
Certainly try.
Go ahead and make another insight check.
Inside.
That's good. That's 22.
Okay.
You are looking at an impassive lake.
Okay.
As one of our more learned members, come and go as thou willst.
He's starting to like try to bring himself out of the battle frenzy.
You see those deep, deep eyes look at you, acknowledge you with a tiny nod.
After your lord has made his decision, come and find me. We will speak.
And then he like, there's a full exhalation, and there's like,
Ollie.
Mithra will walk up to Grip and give him a nod. What is your name?
you can call me Grip.
Grip.
Do you?
Reprieve Mithra. Nice to meet you.
Reprieved Mithra. Thank you
And
for your fight.
it is an honor.
I don't think he's ever shaken hands before.
No.
Aw, this is so cute.
Not sure what to do.
Then we'll go into like a grip, like an actual like you know, warrior's grip.
like a
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
And then let's go.
Ooh, wow.
The Justicar looks at the two of you, and he has not immediately run. Like Trisley is kind of floating away, and as he's looking, Mithra, you're going to break bread with these two, so to speak.
He bested me in combat. What more could I say? What could I do?
Quite a bit more once you quicken, but this is the way of the world. Remember, there is no wasted pain.
None at all. Not complaining.
Understood. If my reprieved does not make it back to the camp, I know where to look.
Thank you. It's like an overly flamboyant bow.
Cool.
Nothing on his face. He looks at you.
Stare back, really blank.
Advisor turns and walks off and trusts and leaves you behind.
It's our first PvP at the table.
You're fast. How did you do that?
Years of practice.
No, I learned
and
it
pain. And you? Magic? Mana? Not many have this ability.
Not many are born like this.
I see.
But training as well.
Well, you have trained well. Where's your master?
He gets silent.
This pain is good, my friend, and we will put a hand on his shoulder in reassurance.
His name was Musa. The Masterless.
Masterless. I am curious about this person. He seems like a very dear friend to you. Not only a master, but I would like to meet him someday. If possible. If Loyotar will allow me.
It is not possible. He rests with the gravedigger.
And honored he will be.
I'm sure he wouldn't care at all. And he said not to mock you. He says that genuinely.
Spoken like a true master. Come, friend. And they'll like guide Grip back to the main, like to the group with Waisa. Still trying to hide the raggedness of everything.
You're coughing up green goose.
But years of practice of just
Oh yeah.
doesn't really show it.
You have a pain tolerance through the roof.
We have a healer. I'm sure he would see you.
I'd be honored to meet him. If he is anything as you are, comparable even.
Beyond.
Then it will be an honor to meet him.
Lisa?
Of course we'll bring her. And is Mithra how old?
Like 37, 38.
I thought you were going to truly say like
13.
9.
Younger and younger.
Oh my god. I'm surrounded by children.
It's the child's war.
I didn't want Marcus to be lonely, you know?
Tired of Miss Merrick. The oldest guy here.
Can you remind me your height? I'm just trying to like
5'10", 5'11",
okay.
roughly.
So towering above
tiny.
us.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, towering above Grip, especially if I'm
Especially.
evident of that one.
I've had one person taller than me.
What kind of blade is this? What do you call this?
Doesn't really have a name. But that name is only known to me. I don't think its name wants to be known.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you try to get back into the city?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not hanging out in the hut. I don't know you.
I don't know
I don't know you like that.
trust like that. Yo, I don't trust like
I don't know
that.
you at all.
So there's a bit of a hubbub as the one Kithki on guard has to call somebody else. Come on. I know. But eventually they do wrangle the gate between them. But just enough to basically crack, crack it open and you slip in and then.
As this is going on, I would ask Mithra, what do you know of Germentum?
Enough to get by, but enough to prepare me of my journey with beloved Drisley. It is quite an interesting and almost primitive civilization.
I see.
He giggles.
And what civilizations do you like to venture to?
Well, this will be my first time outside of my country.
I see.
It is an experience, but a needful one.
So as you step within these walls, this will be the beginning of something very new for you. Is that true?
Yes, very different from the books that I've read.
I can relate. I know what that's like.
You do?
I do.
Are you from here?
I am from somewhere else. A place that we might call Germentum primitive as well. But I encourage you to keep thine eyes open.
Well, thine eye, I guess, but...
Laugh.
1 point psychic damage.
I apologize. I should just walk a little ahead.
I'll make sure to cross my T's and dot my lowercase J's. First blush ever.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, you're on the main east-west road of Germentum. Mithra, I'm going to describe this mainly from your perspective, as for them. It's still new for you, but
With my
it's
keen
truly
eye.
with your keen eye. It truly is, and it is the keen eye.
It is.
A key eye. Oh.
You immediately see the sense of being under siege. That's very sharp here. You don't see children out playing. It is dark now, but you don't see the children out playing. However, at the same time, there's no evidence of the cruelty that you've observed in other places. So you don't see any gibbets. You don't see any stockades. You don't hear any cries of agony. It's more like a city, a small city, but a city that's holding its collective breath. It's also clear from how you had a couple of irregulars struggling to doing something as simple as struggling to open the city gate, that the military here has seen better days. And on your left, not very far in, is quite an unusual structure. So to the left, which would be north, you're seeing a whole bunch of these undersized, well-constructed, one might even say lovingly constructed huts, where they have these walkways, like covered walkways that are attaching them almost like a web. And then as you go a bit further, there's a much larger structure that's almost a perfect circle, that has a ring of these walkways around it. And you do see a single candle burning in there, a few wizened figures of these creatures called Kithki that you have read about. And to your eye, they clearly do not look like just human children. They look like a different species. But even though the journal of the person that you read thought that they were nigh indistinguishable from children.
Must make some corrections later.
Unknowingly, you walk. Well, actually, I'm going to say it this way: on your right, as you get a bit further, something tugs at you, and there's a place of not exactly power, but the promise of a different way. You're not sure, but when you actually look, it's just a hut. And unknowingly, you walk by Katrin's hut. You continue on. Are you going to bring her via the arbor or by the arbor path, or are you going to go the slightly more direct way? And
Probably the arbor.
Arbor,
Kind of
okay.
like
Good tour.
hey, look how beautiful this is. Yeah.
The scenic route.
Yeah.
You're gonna beloved this.
So most of this then is the Kithki quarters that you're walking through, and you see at least 3 distinct architectural styles. That first, you see those huts. There's another one where it's a bit grander, and those are vibrating with life. There's talking, there's still laughing in there. There's definitely sounds of eating because Kithki. And then finally, there's a third set, and make a nature or perception roll as you pass that. It is dark, so it's going to be a disadvantage.
Ow.
Roll twice.
Come on, baby. Perception. Oh, disadvantage. Damn, a 19 and a 5.
Okay.
So let's see. You said nature?
Nature or perception, yeah.
I'll do perception. So
Okay.
that'll be 10, but
There you go.
Okay.
something.
So you're
something.
walking through, and make a note of this, Sydney. In the light of day, your character is probably going to recognize this for what it is, but at night, you're like, what are all of these? Is this some sort of vine wall or some sort of storage space, or what is this? And you're just walking right past, as many bigs have in the previously Dewshine residences that are all built almost like living, breathing structures of vines and wood. Yeah, and they can easily be mistaken. Particularly like in a deep forest, it'd be actually quite difficult to find them, to distinguish them.
Like Ewoks, but better.
But sleeker. Yeah, way sleeker. It's part of their defense mechanism. It's part of how the Dewshines survived the schism. So you walk through that, and then finally you do arrive at the beginnings of the arbor. And I'm going to have you make another, maybe a religion check on this one.
Ooh, my favorite. I can do a
Yeah, mine
religion
too.
check. So that would be 18.
Okay, pretty good. You smell a ceremonial space.
Oh my gosh, my favorite! Guys!
You're looking over. There's this. You assume. Oh no, actually, there is a fair bit of moonlight, so you get glimpses of this. There's a gaily covered pavilion that's there, and you have a sneaking suspicion that gets used for some whatever their joining ceremonies are. Probably some coming of age stuff. Probably some other folk festivals. You know, you're already cataloging this in your scholar's brain.
And here.
Yeah, and here. Now, I had you writing in the stitched scroll book. Have you taken that back out, or is this all just mental notes right now?
It's just mental to write later.
Okay, go ahead.
Or blood dripping.
As we are making our way through the arbor, I presume at some point we're going to come past the spot where
I'm getting there.
Great.
Yes.
The spot.
Waisa would be trying to just like subtly, very casually read this person. Curious if Mithra is more leaning towards like an intellectual or more leaning towards a spiritual.
Oh, that's a good question. Make an insight check. I assume you're trying to keep your secrets to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so make a deception roll.
Come on, big dice.
18.
Big dice. Nope. Yeah, you could definitely.
Okay.
She tells you.
I tell you directly.
I'm not doing this from the scholarly point of view.
Guys, I'm a.
What did you get?
It was like a 7.
7 on the die, plus whatever else you have, or not.
7, because it does matter
7.
how much you
8.
beat by 8. Okay, you got an 8, so you beat her by 10. Okay. So answer her truthfully. As she.
Answer.
Yeah.
A bit of both. It seems very ingrained into who they are and why they're here. They have a lot of, I guess, need to learn and hunger for knowledge, but also their culture is so ingrained in that spirituality that's kind of like, grew up with that, and there's no like, separating the two.
But there was like a sense of like, I'll die for the spiritual, but would you die for the intellectual?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Good to know.
Great question.
That is Tatiana.
Yes. Yes.
That book?
You are reminded of some of the most devout and also well-educated of the of Talak priestesses.
Okay.
Some of them kind of have a similar. Obviously she has more martial ability than they would as non-chosen, but there's a somewhat of a similar vibe there. Mm-hmm. And perhaps in the fullness of time that would have been you had you taken your quote-unquote proper place.
Right.
Your mother, of course, always wanted you to go with Tezcatli, but that's a different story.
Look where you are now.
Yeah.
And then finally you arrive, because you're going to pass right through the heart of the arbor, and your little former death cold ears kind of perk up, and you feel like the Maiden of Needful Pain has decided that there is some spot here that is of interest to her. And as you're walking by, and Grip, that's of course the spot that you encountered.
It'll just, as soon as we're probably just like bantering about blades or something like that.
Sure. Probably. Also taking note of the scenario.
But then once you realize that we've reached the spot, his foot will just kind of stop, and he'll just like be staring there for a minute. And I assume you also take note of that spot.
Oh yeah, immediately stops.
He pauses there, and you would naturally want to.
Yeah. What is this energy here?
This is where I saw her.
Who?
Your beloved.
And they'll kind of like lean down, feel the dirt.
Just kind of pat over there. See if he can detect any more of a lingering whiff.
Is this my first time hearing about this?
It is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You smell with your nose. You smell something, but I'm going to say that your inside's banging right now. So you know that you are not having the same subjective experience that Grip is having, and nor are they having exactly the same experience as each other.
Oh. And am I having a third experience?
You are.
Okay.
It's almost like you're your own person.
Beloved Trisley it's a very faint, but to your nose, recognizable scent of maybe of like a really like dew and lilac, maybe. Mm-hmm. Something really soft.
Yeah.
Can I notice anything about the surrounding area, if that gives any sign to what Beloved would have seen or like felt about the specific space that would be of interest?
Are you looking as an intellectual, or are you looking as a spiritual leader of your community?
Spiritual leader.
Okay, make a religion check.
There you go.
And as you're doing that, Grim, who has been a member for 9 months, Darkeport says, "Don't forget to like and subscribe and a comment after the stream for the algorithm gods is appreciated." And Defiant Chaos also says, member for 5 months. I did not know it was that long, DC. I was surprised when I saw that. I agree with what Grim said. Go do that.
Thank you.
Spiritually.
And then just recently here, Defiant Chaos has given us $10 and said, I guess he's answering someone. It is Darkeport. These peeps are awesome, just saying.
Aww,
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. That means a lot.
It was religion, right?
Yes.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Let's go.
You pause, and it takes you a second, because this boy, this warrior, this young warrior is clearly like involved in a bodily sensation, because of course, I mean, you've literally just quickened, so it's still crackling in your veins somewhat. Instead, your eyes, you don't know this yet, but your eyes are drawn up in a very similar fashion to what Trisley's were earlier during the rain. And for some reason, there is a cold, distant star that beckons to you. And remember, there has been talk about north or east amongst your people.
Yes.
I know we haven't played through a lot of that yet, but
yes.
Yeah, there's a whole like dead serious conversation going on about not east, I'm so used to east, north or west.
Okay. Let's hope it's never south.
across the Azure Sea.
Okay.
And you don't, in the moment you're not fully sure of what that star means, but your gut just tells you that it's north. It would be easier to navigate going north using that star than west, perhaps. You also know that beloved Trisley has an enormously complicated mind, and perhaps they were seeing something that you do not.
Probably. I'll ask her later.
Okay. Okay.
I would also be just really trying to understand this place and its specificity.
You know this is a place this is a place of comfort, a place of succor. Nalishli would come here often, remember? Usually to meditate. She would pull off to the side and kind of go into the shrubbery so she wouldn't be disturbed, but even the most boisterous Kifki usually don't scream or run around in here. People just kind of know this is, this would be a place that you could kind of unburden yourself. And it's not surprising to you that a creature like the Beloved would be instinctually drawn here. You suspect a larger tapestry too, but just on a bodily level, it doesn't surprise.
This isn't where we found Tolia Deeperfern, is it?
It's pretty close.
Okay.
Actually, thank you.
Same thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So you are within sight, within easy sight of where you found I believe Juramentum's only murder victim to this point, at least in the entire campaign.
Well, yeah, recent.
Who had been
outside of them trying to do it to Marcus all the time.
Right. But just like stone cold murder, where she had gotten just gruesomely carved up. Yeah.
As a ritualistic instinct.
Right, they don't know that.
They'll take out their dagger, prick their finger just a little bit, and let it drip right on this exact spot.
And it
then
disappears almost immediately.
Why do you do that? What was that for?
And then it won't say anything. Nothing.
Did I get a scent of that blood?
Yeah.
What did I smell? Particularly.
Make an insight check.
Make a blood roll.
Make a blood
roll.
Blood roll.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
It's poison.
It's poison blood.
Anne-Marie Rogers.
Just the $10 from Anne-Marie Rogers with no message attached, but lots of love.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom. And
Oh my god.
So cool your mom
Mommy
knows how to
tears.
use YouTube.
are you kidding?
Mine does not.
His mom knows more about this campaign than I do. Okay,
100%.
so
My mom still thinks it's scripted.
you. I wish I was that cool.
Oh shit! Let me get rid of the.
You smell heat and sand and bone.
Coming up all sorts of candles right now. The beloved candle.
And then there's that. I appreciate that, Corey.
I don't want a blood-scented candle. Okay.
Well, she hits a lie like
Strahd
a
does.
The iron in there. Lots of iron.
There's like this elusive undernote that only comes to you as you begin to move forward and reflect of scrolls.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Did you just say a nerd?
Why did they come here?
Nerds! Yeah.
I need to refocus, guys.
little cat trend.
Right now.
Serious.
Right now. Okay.
Little nerd. That's so funny.
Why did she come here? Beloved is different. Intelligent, thoughtful, kind. She has earned her title. And that means there are things that I cannot see that she can. It is why I follow her.
So the beloved is a girl. Your Justicard said neither male nor female, the embodiment of truth. I don't really understand.
It seems complicated for primitive civilization as your own. But gender is not really a thing in our country.
But you said she.
I could use whatever pronouns I like.
Oh, okay.
Have I ever seen Grip like this?
No.
It's freaking me out.
You could use whatever pronouns for me as well.
Do I know what a pronoun is?
Does he know what any words are?
I don't know that you do. I'm gonna say no.
It's a pronoun.
It is how you refer to someone.
Like a name? So your pronoun is Mithra?
If you would like. It could also be reprieved if you like.
But that's a title.
These both.
Whatever.
Ally.
So we're gonna go to the healing
Yeah.
hall, yeah?
Well,
You're gonna go see.
you passed it. You're looking for Marcus,
Yeah, the healing hall is right.
Yeah, where's Marcus? Where is he?
Okay.
and your
Where's Waldo?
and your instincts have led you this far. You all realize as you emerge that you that the night has been wearing on, and that you spent much more time in the arbor than you perhaps were fully aware of. Because you can see that that dawn is going to be upon you fairly soon. It's just starting to lighten. Kind of the pre-dawn gloom is letting up. It's been a long day.
And how, like, we're going to Marcus's place, or we're just, like, scouring for him?
You kind of stop, and your gut tells you that he's not at home either. He's not at that tent either, but you are going the correct direction.
Mithra, it's late, and you really need to be tended to. I'm not so sure that Marcus is in his abode.
I don't know who this Marcus is, but I can find my own accommodations if you'd like.
I can point you to a place to sleep and a place to get some things to tend to you. You really need it.
And your name, I forgot to ask. How impolite of me.
Waisa.
Lisa. Nice to meet you.
Aye.
And it is not me fooling. I promise. This time.
Aye. Grip. Where are you resting your head these days? I don't even know.
We just got. I mean, I sleep here. I need to sleep like it's
the ground or something.
Or something like an edge of the
Sleeping
arbor.
in a tree.
Burrow off in some of the shrubs.
Yeah. You've been invited to the keep.
Yeah,
Take
and
a
Titus said I could sleep
pile
in
of
the keep,
leaves.
but I feel bad for Mithra. So Marcus isn't home, then where is he? How do you know?
I know things. I say it in Draconic.
Oh, he just kind of shrugs like, yeah, okay.
You do.
Why don't we go to the keep together? And Mithra, you will be well welcomed. And I show the path to.
Didn't the Justicar say you had to come back to your camp or he's gonna come kill me?
If she
Well, you'll have to go through me.
Just kind of simply.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah.
So you make your way to the keep.
I talked to him on the way there.
Oh.
I mean, Mitra's gone the other way, or is Mitra still with
Are you
us?
staying? Are you staying with them?
I'll chill with them.
Okay.
I'll chill with them a little bit longer.
Okay.
Still like observing. Still observing the place. You know, I don't want to go back to camp where everything is the same. I'm like, yeah, cool.
No. This is far too.
Foreshadowing.
This is far too interesting.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You get to the keep, and I will pick up Marcus and Devrin. Yeah. So you're a little bit ahead of them in time, but not too much.
We just dropped off Mohi at the.
Yeah, Mohi is ran, leapt onto his ship, waited on. Said that he hadn't said this nearly enough, but that he loved you. And you see him I mean, he's going to watch you. He's going to watch you for a good while as the ship is rounding the bend and pulling off. And then as you're about to, as he's about to kind of round the bend, he takes his war staff and you can, it's far enough. He's like, yeah, just gives you a salute.
And I'll yell back, enhancing that.
Okay.
As well.
Okay, so it's really damn loud.
Yep.
And make a Arcana check.
I'll step away from that, by the way.
Ooh, that's pretty good. That's going to be a 14.
Okay. So yeah, you round the sound, and that cantrip is not guaranteed, so it's going to fluctuate based on what you roll.
Oh, okay.
But that's fine. So it reaches his ears, even though his is like pretty distant. In fact, like some of the crew whip around. Marcus, you're distracted, so make a perception check with disadvantage.
Distracted indeed.
13. Perception is going to be a 19 at disadvantage.
Disadvantage. All right. So there are faces that whip around, but to you, they're just people. They're just travelers going about their business at dawn, leaving at dawn. You catch a glimpse of a certain well-traveled crew that has been dragged through hell and creation from Grip's former ship that have taken the chance to get the fuck out of Dodge, or in this case of Geramentum.
Mm-hmm.
And
how many of them?
You see at least 3 faces.
His meat and his apprentice with him?
They're gone.
Gotcha.
You do not see the second mate, however. The Yerlet who had spoken with Waysa at some length.
What time of day is it right now?
Dawn.
Dawn?
Yeah. Like freshly, because you've just walked from Aurelius Field after bidding adieu.
How busy is the port right now?
Not what it should be. Not what it should be. There a handful of travelers leaving, and there are some, because Geramentum has to eat, so there are some of the fishermen beginning to set out now.
Right.
But you think it's probably at about half capacity. You could just rough judge. You do know your way around harbors and ports, so.
Yeah. Marcus, you're going to go back to your place, no?
I got to see my wife.
I will entertain your kids while you spend time with her.
Absolutely. Come on with. You'll love them.
I hope so.
They'll love you. They love everyone. So come on, here we go.
Okay.
As you say it begrudgingly.
I love everyone.
And I'm kind of just, as I'm walking, I'm sort of just running the ring around my finger, just feeling it, like catching it, just thinking about it. Sort of, I'm not lighting it with the gift of Tuea, but I am just sort of like kind of putting my intention into it and pulling it back and pulling it in and pulling it back to see if there's any kind of like connectivity to it.
Oh, it's a live one. Yeah, it's a live one. And in fact, you're catching glimpses. You hear little snatches of children's giggles, and a much firmer, matronly voice, teaching letters and teaching numbers. And then you do get a glimpse of fire and blood and a ferocious battle taking place on the bed of a river over a swaddled babe.
Wow. As we were walking, Marcus, this may be of use, it may not be, but I have encountered a journal of sorts from a man who escaped the annex, who was a will worker. There may be some information in there of recent aspects to plans, what they can do, that may be of use for this battle, but...
Are we talking about Zaha?
Leptis Regium.
Oh, Leptis Regium.
The annex is similar to... Do I even know about Fang Prime's college history?
No, you do. Yeah, you do.
Do I?
No.
Yeah.
It is a college for will workers that are authorized by the by Leptis.
Oh.
Similar to the college, which is the bigger version of that.
Well, mate, I know how to read. We can get it to Wesa, or Livia might be able to do something with it, the Domina.
A few things. It's written in... Do I know what it's written in?
It's written in a number of languages, but Tatlam Old Speak figures prominently.
I'm relatively new to Old Speak, and
Okay.
the book is not present.
Clarify that.
I would be dead if it was caught on my being.
Okay.
I buried it.
Okay, so what do you want us to do about it? Do you want us to go get it?
If we can arrange such, it might be worth doing.
Where did you bury it?
In Zaha.
Well... Well, that definitely is a consideration for the future. Right now, we are in the middle of a negotiations with one of our most powerful, I'm not sure what to call them, adversaries / allies. I'm not sure really what it is.
Depending upon the outcome of that meeting, it may or may not be worth it. Do I have any sense of how, from how important or how interesting any of that information was?
A lot of it you couldn't read. I mean, you deciphered what you needed to.
Even from graphs or...
But you do know that it's a lot more than just a will. It's not just a primer on how to work will. It's basically his evaluation of certain facets of the city.
Do I have his name?
God, did your father get that? Yes, I'll give you a name for that. That's a good question, Corey. I mean, we never gamed that out. Yeah, okay. That particular detail out. Yeah, let me know.
Okay.
Naas.
Right.
There's more.
So many of us.
Dang it, guys.
And as you're opening the portal, the smaller portal to go inside. You note that it's bad that there's not a guard here to challenge you, but that's how it is.
And how easy what does a lock look like on this thing? The mechanisms on this?
It's barred from there's a bar from the inside. Okay. So yeah.
So there's no key.
There's no pickable.
It's either got it.
Nope. And in better days, and presumably you would have this would be well manned. And
how heavy is the bar? More curiosity.
Heavy, yeah. As you open it, two things potentially happen. One of them certainly does. So make a perception check for me, Devrin. You're going to be busy.
That's going to be a 6 perception?
Yeah.
Yeah, 16.
16? Okay. Yeah. So when the door opens, when the portal opens, you almost run into Alba as she's coming out. And she just sits there and kind of looks at you.
Alba, this is Devram. This is Wace's brother.
Devram.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh,
right.
Alba is
my wife.
And then out of the corner,
lady.
And then out of the corner of your eye,
he gives a bow.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You see someone. Marcus is way too caught up in this. You see someone watching a boy, a man. You're not sure, young, watching off. And so, as Marcus is stepping into the portal, and this is and this would be the wall. You're out back just a little bit behind him, and you see this guy at the corner here where the wall would go. So Marcus can't see him in that second.
So as I use it, a couple ways I can do this, but I will fan and I want to whisper into his ear. Okay. There's someone over there. You just hear my voice whispering to you.
I'm just looking at Alba right now.
Yeah. If you want to, you can make an insight check and try to appraise what that.
Let's see what it is.
Yeah.
Insight.
No.
Okay. You can't read the body language as the sun's kind of in your eyes, but you see he takes a halting step and then hesitates and is just staring at the side back of his of Marcus's head. Okay, so she's, always looking at you.
He knows you.
Not now, son. Can you, Sevilla, you in there?
Oh no, she caught you out before you got to, so you guys are alone.
Everyone, do me a favor and head on inside. My sister Sevilla may be inside. My brother Sevilius might be inside. I need a moment.
Can I just turn the guy's attention? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try the guys out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll try that. No. Okay.
Finger guns, we're out of here.
So much for protecting.
You tried. You tried.
I'm gonna hold my hand out for her, if she'll take it. Would you walk with me?
Haven't I always, Hubs?
Yeah, you have. Let's take a walk out there. Talk.
10 steps.
Towards the healing hut.
To be clear, you're at the portal between the fishery and the keep.
Oh, okay.
So you're at the city walls right now, and you had just been coming in. Sorry if I was not clear on
I'm
that.
sorry, I thought we were closing in.
Do I even know where to go?
Yeah.
No, but you know to piss off. Or,
I will piss off then, but then
do you want to circle around back to home, dude?
I would probably sneak. Yes, I would probably do my little cat and prowl thing. Then.
That's entirely fair. Okay. Go ahead and roll that and have that on tap for me.
Is there a bench nearby?
No, but there's a barrel of not rotten fishes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She walks over there. She still hasn't taken your hand, but you do feel her presence now. Like she's fully present with you, like she wasn't toward the end of the tent.
I know what to say right now, Oliver.
Ups, I just got 2 questions for you. I do. Are we still... The vows we took?
I meant every word of them.
But those were under Quailthorn's eyes.
They are under Quailthorn's eyes.
Not this goddess. To be truth, I kind of ate her, I do. For butting into our lives. For saying this, telling our son that he could come north, always north. Who the hell is she? And what business does she have with me and mine? And the man I love and revere. You like that fancy word? Learned it while you were gone, revere.
I can say, I love and revere you as well, Mud.
Who is she?
She is, and I'm not trying to regurgitate what I told you before.
I don't even know that word.
She is the goddess of justice and truth. Everything she has ever told me, every step I had ever taken in my life, was in the pursuit of her needs.
And how about him and our vows and us and our marriage?
They are real because he is real, and we made our vows to a real God beneath the real light of a real God.
And you don't follow.
But I don't disbelieve in him.
Mm-mm.
But that said, I want to remarry you beneath Tawea's justice and truth. In truth, new vows, new love, and to build on the old one. I love you so much, my love. There is no home for me without you.
I walked and I walked. And I was like a Bija I was, and there won't no place to go. So I guess if I'm going to be blaspheming the Marcus Apulix of the pens, I guess I'll be blaspheming with you.
I'm gonna hold her.
Oh my god.
In her ear, While we're just there, will you marry me?
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine I will. And then she lets out the breath she's been holding this whole night, this whole wretched night.
There's been so much that has changed in our lives. But for the first time in our lives, we are making decisions with our eyes open and for the betterment of our family.
Oops. No more words. Not now.
I'll just walk with her for a while. We'll hold her first and walk with her. Aimlessly.
Devrin, make a stealth check.
22.
That's pretty good. Nathan, your this die is rubbed off and blurry. Okay. This number, I do not know what the number is, but I see it as not double digits. Okay.
Oh, wait, is it a symbol? Is it a symbol?
Oh, yeah.
That's a nat 20.
That's the 20. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Tony.
Sorry, it's Nathan's die. I just had it for 2 years. I haven't seen him.
So you actually do recognize this person now that the sun isn't in your face, and you've prowled around, and you've mainly used like the crowd to your advantage, Corey, to get closer, because there's not really like any hard cover, but there are plenty of people about. And as you get closer to Livius, Marcus's son, you see his eyes.
How old is he?
He is about 13 winters.
Oh.
13, 14.
Older than me.
But he is a big boy, and he is going to be...
See Marcus and Alan.
He is going to be... he's going to be built not just like Marcus. I mean, Marcus is already pretty dowdy. He's going to be like Marcus's brother, though.
And I know he's Livius. Have I seen him or a reference?
So the way that you would know him is he was one of the people who raided Zahar, and he was actually the person to go below decks and fight with Darius.
Oh, I know his name then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and fight with Darius and prevented him from just killing her and shoving her entire head in the vat.
Livius! My friend!
I thought it was you.
My friend! He comes over and gives him a nice little pat.
Okay, he looks at you.
Are you okay?
He looks way down the docks, and there are people in between, you and Alba and Marcus, kind of a half a dock's worth of them. And
what's troubling you? I have an ear.
I got a mouth.
Aww. That's good to know.
And he sags now, Corey. And remember, you saw him like sags up against the wall. You saw him resplendent. You don't know the goddess yet, but resplendent in this golden grace, giving him superhuman strength and ability.
I did see that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, because you were in that fight. Now you were hanging back. I mean, you were being careful.
No.
You saw that. And he sags against it, and then
brings you so down. You were so.
He just slides down until he's plopped in the dirt in the in the sandy beach.
I sit down with him.
Okay.
I kind of hold his hand if I can, or.
He doesn't. Yeah, he does. You know that the men here don't tend to do that. Zahara is much more. That's not unusual, but he doesn't. He actually just kind of grips it as he's sitting there.
And he actually stops playing on the cards. Livius, how can I help? You seem so dour.
You got a god, Devrin?
We're God of the wind.
What if you found your god was not your god?
What do you mean?
What if you found that they wasn't real? And the light, the power, it be coming from something else. What then?
But you found out the truth. with truth. I've been deceived myself, but I have found truth. And truth feels way better.
Sometimes.
Not right now, it ain't. Right now, it sucks. It sucks pig balls right now.
Livius, we people, there are many men and women that say things that are not true, unfortunately. They deceive us. And it's important that we weave our way through there like a needle, like a thread through a needle, to figure out what is. And there won't be the first time that someone tells you something that's not true. You have the light. You know who your God is. She bless you.
I ain't got it. It's just kind of like borrowed.
You're chosen. Like we were chosen me. With the speed of feet. And mouth sometimes.
He actually does crack the first smile in all this.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I guess you did kind of jabber. You're all right. You know where Fava is?
He is with your mother. But he told me to go to his abode. He's very inviting. You and the children.
Fava using fancy words now. He is, yeah.
Perhaps I enhanced them. He mentioned something about a pen.
Come on, and he kind of tries to get up for a second, but just doesn't seem to have any strength, and then grabs your hand, and I assume you.
As we walk, let me show you something that is not real. And I show him a magic trick.
Oh, that's good.
That's good.
That's great, dude.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. And I think, friends, that is a good place to pause the tale.
Yeah.
With, and then I guess Wesa, just, a little bit, you tend to her and we'll see what happens
Make our
there.
way into the keep.
Yep. We'll see what happens there.
I assume that's where we come across.
Yeah, wait until well after dawn.
Do not disturb.
Where were you,
sign.
Titus?
You see armor hanging from the doorknob.
There you go. That's how we do in Germentum.
A bracer.
Yeah.
Well, faraway friends, it feels like the fellowship in this new iteration is beginning to come together as these threads weave. Thank you very much for your love and your care and your support. And we appreciate it ever so much. Take care, and we will see you here next time.
See you next week. Woo-woo.